Darien, this is Hondo Carpenter from SI. Congratulations on watching one of your dreams come true. You are a very physical, fast, with a great burst corner, but you've played the vast majority of your reps in zone. When you talk to the Raiders, did you talk to Patrick Graham, the DC? Would you talk about, you certainly have the skill set, about how easy of an adjustment it is to play more of a up to up close corner, more of a closer coverage?
Yeah, like at Iowa State, obviously we played a multitude of different defenses, but um, mostly zone. But we did sprinkle in a good amount of man coverage. So, you know, working with this staff and knowing what they've done in the past and the kind of defense they play, it doesn't scare me. It doesn't, I have no problem with going to a more man heavy scheme and being the the press corner with my length and my speed and my physical ability.
Hi, Heidi Fang, Las Vegas Review Journal. I was just wondering, when you think about yourself and some of the intangibles that you bring to the game, what kind of character are the Raiders getting in you?
Yeah, so obviously you get the a great athlete and a physical specimen, but you get a guy that, works as hard as he can. He's had to work for everything. He played receiver in college, he switched to corner and now is a draft pick and it was never easy, but I worked for everything and I worked my tail off to get here right now. So on top of everything, they're getting a hard worker and a guy who's going to do whatever it takes to succeed.
Darien, Sean Zattel, Vegas Sports Today. Obviously the Raiders made this pick in part because of your upside between your size and speed, but they also two of the three corners are gone from last year. How much do you think you can contribute in year one?
I'm looking to contribute immediately. Obviously we'll have to work and earn that opportunity, but obviously with having departing with two corners, it's exciting for me, to be put in this position to have that instant contribution on the defensive side. But I think I also can add a lot to special teams as well. I've done a lot of special teams and have done some pretty remarkable things in that aspect. So I'm looking to contribute in any possible way that I can.
Hi, Mark
Hi, Mark
Anderson,
Anderson,
AP.
AP.
You
You,
mentioned having played receiver. How much do you think that helps you as far as playing corner?
It's very helpful, especially pre-snap. Kind of getting a feel for the formation, where receivers are lining up, what their splits are. You know, is number one or number two on or off the ball. There's a lot of things that from playing, having so much time dedicated to the other side of the ball, that I have been able to bring over to the defensive side, and it gives me a little bit of an advantage, kind of knowing what the offense might be doing in certain formations or in any given down or something.
Darian, it's Hondo Carpenter again. You play so physically. Does it help you that you're not a guy who's penalized because you played receiver, you played those other spots, so you know how to use your body? Is that why you're so effective with your physicality?
I think that's certainly a part of it. Obviously, you know, like you said, playing the offensive side of the ball, you understand what's a penalty and what's not. But I've had great coaching over the years and couple seasons, and you know, we try to play as technical and as clean as possible. So that's kind of just been drilled in me from the beginning. So I give big credit to my coach, Coach Poteet, as well too for that.
Hi, Levi Damien from USA Today. So classically, Pete Carroll is known for liking big corners such as yourself. For that reason, did you kind of think maybe you'd be on the Raiders' radar, and do you see yourself as being a fit in, Pete Carroll's style of defense?
Absolutely. I'm very excited to get to work. Just seeing what he's done with someone like Richard Sherman, and seeing his physical profile, and it's exciting for me as someone who's still got some improving and growing to do at the position. I'm excited to get to work with people who have these players under their resume. It makes me very excited. And I'm ready to get to work like right now. Like, but yes, I think it's a great fit, and I'm very grateful for it.
Hi there, Heidi Fang again. I just wanted to find out from you what this process has been like and the anticipation you had leading up to be drafted.
Yeah, so after the combine, you go on a lot of Zoom calls, you take your visits, you might do a private workout or something. But I did that for a while. I was working out at Iowa State, just staying in shape. But you know, it's been a blessing. It's been one of the greatest blessings of my life, and being able to play football and work with the best against the best. That's what I've always dreamed of. And I'm very grateful to be in Las Vegas, and I'm very grateful to be working with this staff and with this group of players. And I'm just really looking forward to it. I'm glad it was it was a little bit of a long wait, but I couldn't be more thankful to be where I'm at right now.
Darien, Levi Edwards with the Raiders digital team. You were kind of talking about all of the work that you put in after the combine and those workouts, but at the combine, you had one of the more stellar performances for a corner, if not the best, showing for a corner at the combine. What was the preparation that went into that? And do you believe that that also helped you rise your draft stock to getting taken by the Raiders?
I think it absolutely helped. Obviously had a great year this past season, but when you run a 4.3 and put up some pretty good numbers at the combine, it's definitely gonna open some eyes and turn some heads. But I think that was a big part of it as well. But just the preparation was just working out down at XP in Fort Lauderdale. They got a great staff there, and that I give them all the credit. Yeah, obviously I was a great athlete, but we had a plan. We started on early January, leading up until the combine, and all the training that they put me through and put all of our guys through really paid off, and I'm very grateful for it.
Hi, Darren. Harry Ruiz with the Spanish radio broadcast for the Raiders. In college, you were stellar in special teams, blocking punts, blocking field goals. Is that something that you would like to raise your hand with the special teams coordinator out here and be like, hey, man, I can make a difference on this side of the ball too?
Absolutely, absolutely. Not I don't only want to be a defensive contributor. I want to do everything I can to help Las Vegas be successful. And that's defense and special teams. I don't want to shy away from, running down on punt or blocking kicks and field goals. I want to be that guy still too, on top of being, a great lockdown cornerback.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Darren.
Absolutely. Thank you guys.